Welcome, gods and goddesses. I am Alpha Celestial, your Smite lore enthusiast for today. So yeah, didn't mean to leave you all on a cliffhanger, but it seemed like a good place to end that first video. Didn't want to overload and scare you all off by seeing a 30 to 40 minute video on the bottom right. Thank you all for watching my first video. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. I hope I can continue to make this content more and more appealing for you, and hopefully get an artist or an animator to help me out so that I'm not biting off a HIREZ. If you haven't seen my first video, go take a look in the description below or the link on the top right in case you don't want any spoilers or you jumped ahead. As this is a very interesting story, I'm trying to break this up into parts so it's easier to digest. Anywho's it, here's a little recap for posterity's sake. Zeus has been killed by three cloaked figures. Anubis and Hades got into a tussle of souls, which led to Zeus's intervention, with a stern talking to Hades, elaborating that the faithful, the humans that worship them, are becoming less and less abundant. To which, shortly after Zeus had been killed by the three cloaked figures. So, with that being said, let's continue on with the story, shall we? Gods and goddesses, this is Smite lore. The next morning, Athena rushes into Zeus's throne room to find Ares and Hades standing over Zeus. She rushes towards Hades. "You did this!" Hades turns his head to face her. "Not I. He was my brother, Athena. We disagreed, yes, but he was my brother." Athena kneels down and takes Zeus into her arms. She looks back to Hades. "Release his soul from the underworld immediately." "If I had it, I would. I do not. Another god of the underworld has claimed it." "What? Who?" "Anubis is gone." "You were to guard him last night. Where were you?" "I am no watchman. I am a warrior." Hades interjects the siblings' argument. "We cannot change what has been done, but we can retaliate. As the eldest brother, I claim the right to the throne of Olympus." Athena gasps. You? You cannot." "Do you think your claim is greater than mine, Athena? We must act quickly. We do not have time to debate. Mobilize the army against the kingdom of the sun." "Father would not want this. I refuse." "Very well. Ares, I give you command of the armies of Olympus. Perhaps you will avenge your father." "I will." During which, Hades sends Hermes, the messenger of the gods, to each of the kingdoms, delivering the news of Zeus's death and the news of Hades' claim on the throne. Hades narrates over. "The coming days will not be easy, but our soldiers will rally when they hear the death of their king. The Asgardians will mourn our loss, but think us vulnerable and may move to strike. The intentions of the Jade Emperor have rarely been clear. They have their own troubles for now, but they may think us weak in the moment nonetheless. That leaves our friends in the kingdom of the sun. When our forces reach their city, they will know why we have come. They must give Anubis or fall." Inside the Egyptian palace, Ra, the god of the sun and ruler of Egypt, stands looking out the window, overlooking the armies of Olympus, clutching the news from Hermes as Anubis stands by his side. "Zeus is dead. Olympus's armies have come for you. Ra turns to look Anubis in the eye. "What have you done?" Anubis bows his head. "Anubis did not do this thing." Ra emanates a searing flame off his body. "Do not lie to me!" Anubis bows lower. "He speaks the truth, great king. Anubis only fled. He did not murder Zeus." There is a pause. "Will you give Anubis over to the Olympians?" Ra turns around and breathes deeply. "I will not abandon you, Anubis." Outside the kingdom of the sun, Athena stands over the armies of Olympus as Hermes rushes to her side. Zeus' words ring in her head. "There will be war." This is not right. My father would not want this. What will you do? I will find the truth. We move to Hades, sitting on the throne of Zeus. A blue-cloaked figure walks up to him. "I have fulfilled my part." "Yes, you have. Did you have to be so?" "Zeus was a fighter." "He was." "You have your throne. Where is the thunderbolt you promised to me?" Hades raises his head. "You did not claim it. Then who has it?" There's a moment. "Only he would steal from me." Hades responds. "Loki." Leather gloves grasp the thunderbolt in their hands. Loki removes his cloak with a flourish. Boom! Back in the kingdom of the sun, the war continues. Warrior against warrior, god versus god, as Ares clashes with Anhur, slayer of enemies. As the battle occurs outside, a blur rushes past the front lines into the city of the Palace of the Sun. As it enters the court of Ra, Hermes and Athena now become visible. "I think we went unnoticed." "I should hope so, Hermes. How can you even see when you're going at that speed?" "I look good?" A moment passes and palace guards swarm them and encompass them. "Maybe I was a bit too hasty." Athena shakes her head. "Puns? Really?" "Yeah, that one was intentional." Ra comes into view as his guards hold him into place. "Assassins, I expected, but never that Athena the Wise would be one of them." "Ra, we've come only to speak with Anubis, to learn the truth, nothing more." "Anubis is guilty of many things, but the murder of your father is not one of them." "I would hear it from him myself." "Even were I to bring him before you, I fear his words would not reach your grief-stricken ears. You have not come for truth, but vengeance, and that is a thing I cannot offer. But truth is within my power. Come." Ra then escorts them out to his waiting pool, where a goddess awaits. "Among my Pantheon, there is one who can sense the very threads of fate. She is connected to everyone. I shall let Neith reveal to you the truth of Zeus's fate." Ra backs away. Hermes stands in awe at the goddess's appearance. Athena shakes her head and replies to him, "Act like you've seen a woman before." She then walks up to Neith. "Your kin says you know what happens to my father." Neith side-eyes Athena. "You're such a good listener, aren't you?" Athena rolls her eyes. "Shall we dance all night?" "I'd rather get straight to it." Hermes perks up. "I'd like to see that." The goddesses ignore him. "All beings, living or not, touch my weave of fate. When someone dies, their weave is broken. I can sense this like a spider can sense a touch on her web." Athena looks down to the side. "I don't like spiders." Neith continues. "The thread of fate tied to your father has not yet been severed. I can sense it still. Frayed. As though a part of him remains in this world." Athena has an epiphany. "The Thunderbolt! That's the source of my father's power! Where is it?" Neith interjects. "I can tell you. This thread is pulled by another. Someone took it. Whoever has the Thunderbolt is my father's true murderer." Neith smirks. "Well, I can take you to him." And that will do it for this latest Smite lore video. I know the timing on these are very spaced, with them being released every 2 weeks. I'm doing as much as I can, trying to get these out as quick as possible whilst working a full-time job. I love this stuff, and I want you guys to enjoy this as much as I have. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope I have made this just as interesting or even more than the last video. This story is absolutely amazing. If you like this video, please let me know by subscribing and giving this video a like. If you want to comment, tell me who you are intrigued by in this story. I'd love to hear from you. My goal is to get the notice of HIREZ Games and to have them sponsor at some point, but, you know, that's a dream. They deserve most of the credit in making this storyline anyways, so I'm just voicing it all for you. Once again, I am Alpha Celestial, your Smite lore enthusiast. Now go. Go play God.